running, I'm losing my grip. Storage costs rising, they'll never let me skip. Refunds I'm eating, returns pile up too. Oh, Amazon, what else will you do? I look at my dashboard, my profits erased. My margins are gone, it's a slap in the face. Prime Day's a promise, but it's such a race. How much will I make if I'm replaced? It's a cruel, cruel number. Fees keep climbing, profits torn asunder. Oh, it's cruel. The sellers wonder how to survive when the margins go under. It's a cruel, cruel number. Every month it's something new to plunder. Oh, it's cruel. It's no wonder we're stuck in this game. The algorithm's thunder.
Yo, Amazon's back, and they got a new scheme. Reimbursement slashed, it's every seller's dream. They're digging deep, taking more from the pot. Let's break it all down, expose what they got. March 25, it's a policy drop. They say manufacturing costs, but we know it's a flop. Give us your cogs, they're demanding the price. But if you don't, they'll estimate nice. Nice for them, not for you. Watch your payout shrink. That comprehensive evil is a corporate wing. Lost in the warehouse, damaged on the floor. Now they pay you pennies, not a cent more. Fees on the rise, profits on the run. They don't lift a finger, but they pocket the fun. We're fair! They shout while they cut our shares. Amazon math, man, it's full of errors. Fees, taking our dough. They're stacking the deck, and it's sellers who owe. Reimbursement? Nah, they're taking us down, but we're still here, we don't mess around. Fees, straight to the top. Amazon's game, it'll never stop. Margins tight, but we keep the grind. Sellers unite, we're one of a kind.
I try to sell my product on Amazon, thought it'd be a breeze. But little did I know I'd be stuck with seller support disease. They never seem to solve my problems, just give me the run around. I'm tired of waiting on hold. My patience is wearing thin, I'll never be found. Amazon seller support, you suck, you suck, you suck. Can't get no satisfaction. I'm out of luck, out of luck, out of luck. You don't care about my business, just trying to make a buck. Amazon seller support, you suck, you suck, you suck.
This one's for the sellers on the grind, getting left on red, wasting all their time. I hit up support, got an auto reply. Thanks for your patience, man, I wanna cry. Inventory lost, my margins are toast. Reps playing tag like the Casper the Ghost. They pass me around, it's a never-ending game. Nobody takes action, everybody shifts blame. My ASIN's down, I'm out of the race. They say they'll escalate, yo, what a disgrace. Amazon seller support, you're breaking my heart. No answers, no fixes, just tearing me apart. Hours in the queue, stuck in the dark. Amazon seller support, you're missing the mark.
Amazon game plan, that is the key. Seller central dashboard, that's where I be. Analyze the funnel, see what we lack, then we optimize. Sellers know it's a fact. I get it poppin', you know that it's lit. Climbing the rankings, ain't no room to quit. I check the data, they notice the stats. I keep the method, that's how you adapt. Metrics are showing, you know it's our cap. Amazon sellers, it's time to react. I'm about that action, I do this with passion. I got them like, whoa, what is this? Huh, whoa.
I don't know, dude. I think everybody's just buying stuff based on reviews and badges or whatever. They don't even know who we are. These customers don't even know the name of my brand. But they keep clicking add to cart like it's part of the plan. They see that Amazon badge and think it's all grand. But yo, they don't even know the name of my brand.
Click, scroll, build your store. Amazon's waiting, what you waiting for? Brand it loud, make it shine. Steven's here to drop the rhyme. Blue tiles, banners, plug and play. Your storefront's live, let's sell a day. Now listen up, I'm Steven Pope. Amazon guru, I'll help you cope. Step 1, get that trademark stamped. Without brand registry, your Amazon cramped. Head to Seller Central, log in quick. Manage stores tab, yeah, that's the trick. Upload your logo, flex that style. You're about to make Jeff Bezos smile. Where pick a template, marquee or grid. Drop your tiles like a branding whiz. Hero image, big and bold. This store's gonna glitter like digital gold. Flex, grow, build your store. Amazon's waiting, what you waiting for? Brand it loud, make it shine. Steven's here to drop the rhyme. Blue tiles, banners, plug and play. Your storefront's live, let's sell today. Yo. In the trenches of the Amazon game, trying to survive while it's driving me insane. Nobody warns you, they just claim it's passive income. Nah, it's pain. I'm sitting at a birthday, laughing, chilling, next to a newbie Amazon seller spilling. She's like, Prime so smooth, it's a killer. Then tried to sell, now she's stuck in a thriller. Finding products, yeah, that's the first grind. Scrolling Alibaba, losing my mind. Sample suck, manufacturers decline. I'm like, dang, how's anyone doing this fine? Ship it in, pay for the bubble wrap, but they ship glass bottles in padded crap. Now I got hot sauce leaks, refund stack, customers pissed. Man, I'm under attack. Amazon's a beast, it's a fight, no peace. From SEO to PPC, the hustle don't cease. Think it's passive? Nah, you better increase your tolerance for chaos or face defeat. Trademark wars, brand registry's a scam. They banned my brand, now I'm in a jam. Listings yanked, products ranked and tanked. Lost dogs in the catalog, my account shanked. Now let's talk ads, it's a rabbit hole. 1,000 hours deep, man, it's taking my soul. Weekly negations, bulk sheets for control. Excel's my new weapon, but it's taking its toll. SEO's no joke, keywords in the game. Alt text, A+ content, playing insane. Lifestyle shots, avatars for fame, but the CTR's low. All products look the same. Amazon's a beast, it's a fight, no peace. From SEO to PPC, from SEO to PPC, the hustle don't cease. Think it's passive? Nah, you better increase your tolerance for chaos or face defeat.
Let's go to Mac School. To Mac School. Class is now in session with Professor Pope. They got the SOP, cause Professor Pope wrote the recipe. Helping Amazon sellers grow sales exponentially. Amazon's a jungle, but we map the strategy. Brand strategist playbook, it's a guide to victory. Troubleshooting catalogs, you know we got the answer key. Boosting all your rankings, turning sales into a legacy. SOB so deep, you'd think we studied at Mac School. Every step we follow leads to growth, yeah, it's a golden loop. Stuck on keywords, we'll find the ones that work the best. Using Helium 10, strike distance keywords pass the test. Incremental indexing ensures the listing set to rise. From the back end to the bullets, optimization hits the skies. Brand store creation, yeah, we make it shine and flow. A+ content design makes conversions overflow. Need your images on point, best practices in the plan. All text and photo rules ensure your visuals command. SEO meets PPC, it's balanced, every step aligned. We'll construct the MKLs that drive rankings over time. Budget caps and bid adjustments, no more wasted spending. Segmentation builds campaigns that sellers can defend. Got a hijacker, no problem, we'll file to take them down. Review requests in action, 5-star ratings come around. Flat file updates, market share reports, it's all in reach. Professor Pope wrote the SOP so sellers learn and teach.
Meanwhile, my Amazon guys on the case, fixing up my problems at lightning pace. Ticket escalations, Mag's the boss. Even Amazon says we'll take the loss. Seller support don't know what's up. Passing the buck when the issue gets tough. They're the official team, but they can't comply. So they say, reach out to my Amazon guy. They're supposed to be the pros, but they can't decode policies and tools from their own damn road. I'm paying fees, yet they bring me stress. But Mag turns my chaos into pure success. Seller support reps, they throwing shade, but then admit, yo, Mag will get you paid. Third-party agency taking the throne while Amazon fumbles in their own damn zone. Seller support don't know what's up. Passing the buck when the issue gets tough. They're the official team, but they can't comply. So they say, reach out to my Amazon guy. So here's the truth, let's keep it real. Mag's the team with the pro-level skill. Amazon sellers, you know the vibe. When support says call Mag, they'll give you peace of mind. Amazon seller support, you can suck my image stack. Sucking is all you're good at anyway. Bezos, hit me up if you want to sell seller support. I'm buying. Laser Chase. Peace.
You heard the man. You can suck his image stack. My name is Noah Wickham. I'm sales director here at My Amazon Guy, and welcome to the Friday live Q&A for My Amazon Guy. We constantly do this every single Friday. For those that are potentially new here, I come in, I answer any and all questions around e-commerce that I possibly can for you guys. Some even not e-commerce, some personal questions. If you want to ask me something personal, I suppose you can. Not exactly what this is meant for, but I suppose you don't have many other options or I guess times to do it. So all that being said, we have some questions already in the chat. I will just be going through from top to bottom. So if I'm not answering your question immediately, that is why. But be rest assured that I will get to it. So all that being said, happy Friday, and let's kick off with this. First off, a big thank you to Kathy, who became a channel member. Not something we ever expect, because we're just kind of here to give information and education whenever possible, but nonetheless, appreciate it, I suppose. And we had Ricardo, who was in here very early, hour and a half before we started, actually, to get his question in. I'm going to take a wild guess, say Ricardo loves to watch the VODs of these. So, Ricardo, if you're watching in the future, hello. Hi, Noah. I have 3 campaigns targeting the same keywords, but with different match types. And I wanted to ask you 2 questions. So we got 2 for here. Okay. Number 1, do I need to add all the keywords from exact campaign as exact negatives in the phrase match campaign and as both exact and phrase match negatives in the broad campaign to avoid inter-competition? Technically, no. So the biggest aspect here that you're going to run into as a problem is if you have essentially the same exact keyword that you were doing from like an exact to a phrase to a broad. You realistically don't need the exact in that standpoint. I would just go for phrase. You're going to be getting essentially the same realm. Your keywords, the way that they should be associated, should have one of the 3 campaigns that work in a best tandem for them, right? So the more keywords that you have altogether, the better when you're doing an exact campaign. So a full phrase, even though it seems odd that we have a phrase match, but if you have a phrase of blue balloons for birthdays, that's a great exact match, right? Whereas that's not super great from a broad or a phrase match. So that's how you should always be looking at choosing your keywords and what type of campaign structure to put them in. We talk about those as long tail keywords as well. But that being said, you can go for the negations. You're not really going to be necessarily competing with yourself, so to speak, in the same kind of capacity of who I think you're talking about. But I do like to negate if I see that I am showing up too much from like a exact match or a phrase match potential. So all that being said, hopefully that kind of answers your question. Again, I try and get more niche the more I'm doing with exact. Let's see. I also launched an automatic campaign to find new keywords. What would be the next step you would recommend? Ooh, I actually like this one. So this is kind of what we call gold panning, right? So you're essentially looking for new keywords and search terms that do well. The biggest area to make auto campaigns as effective as possible is to find what doesn't work well and negate it first and foremost. So you should be able to see that directly from what is getting clicks, but no conversions, what is spending money and not making you money. And you can negate those immediately. But secondarily to that, if you set your auto campaign up correctly and usually have a lower bidding structure, you'll get a lot of search terms. And those search terms are where we can start to see exactly what is and isn't working for the product. We can take those search terms out. We can then, negate them from the auto campaign if we want to, and put them into something such as a phrase or an exact match. This will give us essentially a good broad scope of new keywords. So essentially look for the ones that are working exceptionally well, figure out what their cost per click is within that auto campaign, and then you can put them into their own campaigns. This will help you immensely when you are doing your overall keyword research. So again, the term you're looking for is gold panning though. So if you look at our YouTube as well, and you just type in the term gold panning, you'll find a ton of videos from myself, Steven, tons of other people around gold panning campaigns. Great question to start us off. And we have Roysh in here about an hour early with these questions. Again, I'm going top down, guys. So if you want your question lickety split, you put it in as soon as you have it. I will be here probably the next hour. I don't have anything after this today, actually. So this might be one of those, if we have the people and we have the attention, I'll just go as long as you guys are here and you guys have questions. Again, I'll answer anything, almost anything. Never say anything. Can I create a rule to pause all campaigns for day parting at a certain time frame, or do I have to always manually do it? It only gives me option for a start and end, but doesn't have a pause option in middle of day. I don't want to manually pause and unpause every campaign every day, especially when it's said out of budget before budget is used up for it. Does every campaign need a two different questions. So let's answer your first one, Roysh. So the way that you would essentially do this, so the way that Amazon day parting works is that you can only raise the budget. You can't lower the budget. So realistically, what you would do is you would set up two different day parting campaigns. You would set your budget exceptionally low, $1, let's say, right, for the middle of the day, or technically at all times. But then you would set up two day parting campaigns. You would set one up for the first part of the day in which you raise your budget substantially for a certain allotment of time, let's say from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then that would end at 12 p.m. and you would go into the middle part of the day where your budget would go back down to $1. You're likely out of budget at that point in time. You're not spending, it's paused, so to speak. And then you go to the second day parting. That would be, let's say, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. And you, again, raise your budget. And boom, now you have more budget to be able to spend during that time of the day. It's annoying that Amazon doesn't allow you to lower your budget, or it doesn't allow you to pause. You can technically get some ad management software that would allow you to do this. And it manages the campaigns, and you can set up specific rules for that. But if you don't want to pay that extra price and learn a new software, that's how you do it with manual day parting. Manual day parting. Roysh, does every campaign need a placement? Which ones should be top? Which ones rest of search? And which ones product search, or none at all? Budget in total is $100 to start. Yeah, so placement is just essentially where on the page you are seeing your product, right? So if I go onto Amazon right now, and I'll actually share my screen so we can do this together here, guys. So if I go onto Amazon and I type in, let's just do balloons. It's my favorite one. I love doing balloons. So you'll see up here, we have these sponsored. This is a top of search placement. Again, you'll see more sponsored, top of search. Anything that is page one, essentially, within the first 25 or so products, is technically top of search. Some people, technically speaking, you can get this placement with the rest of search if you're in a very, what's the best way to say it? If you're in a category that does not have much competition, you can get this placement with rest of search. But for something that is very competitive, it's likely to still be top of search. And then if we go to, keep scrolling down. Here we go. If we go here, this top of search, here we go, rest of search, right? So more rest of search. That's how you can essentially look at your top search, rest of search. And then obviously we also have our, well, I guess they don't have any on this, but product page, essentially. And product page can show up in a few places. This one usually actually isn't necessarily product page in the same way that we look at it. This can also be a placement of your product page, or it can technically be a rest of search, which is kind of odd to me. But that being said, the biggest thing to understand here is you're asking the question of which should be which. General rule of thumb, whichever one is getting you impressions and conversions. So top of search is always likely to have a higher cost per click at the end of the day, because you are getting in front of people first and foremost. That being said, if you are looking at it from like which one of them is best, go with the one that's getting the most conversions. There are some campaigns that work exceptionally well from like a product page targeting standpoint. There are other ones that work exceptionally well from a rest of search. I actually have a consulting client right now that I'm working with, and he is finding that he never gets any sales with top of search placement on any of his campaigns for his product, but his rest of search is killing it. Like absolutely low A cost, killing it, always gets conversions almost, has like a 70% conversion rate. It's crazy. So it really just depends, Royce. There's not like you need to have, placement at the end of the day. It's not a necessity. but it will help you immensely to learn placement and understand what is best. We got Craig up in here. Oh, we got Craig. I know Craig. What is Amazon or what is Mag's requirements for taking on Amazon KDP clients? Honestly, we don't. We don't usually work with book clients. We don't work with KDP clients. A large reason for this, at the end of the day, is that there's not a ton you can do for it. It's exceptionally hard to advertise towards them. It's exceptionally hard to do well with them. It's very organic, essentially. So if we look, there are some keywords. So let me pull this up again. There are some keywords that, like, if we do on trip, oh god, I'm gonna ruin this preneurship. Yeah, that's right. If we do that, you get a lot of books, right? So you get a lot of sponsored, right? These are probably a lot of KDP type stuff. We could click into them. I'm sure that like this is a lot of KDP type stuff. So you'll see a lot here. This is good, but there are specific words and terms, right? It depends on what the book is about. Even then, it's very difficult to advertise KDP, and we don't do it very often. I guess if you're asking requirement would be not a niche category that can be overridden. So I would look at like the top 3 keywords for the book, right? Like, what are the top 3 things? If you type in any of those keywords and something other than like books shows up, or something other than what their type of book is shows up, I honestly just wouldn't even go after it, because it's not worth it at the end of the day, because you have to essentially then get someone who's searching for not a book to buy a book. Turns into a hassle. That being said, one thing that works exceptionally well for like KDP is off Amazon advertising. And I will work a Google Ads or a Meta Ads client for KDP any day of the week, because that stuff is great. Way easier to target because you can do audience segmentation. You can get a lot more granular than you can with Amazon's pay-per-click keyword targeting. Ricardo, I raised the price to avoid running out of stock, and luckily I didn't. Fantastic. Now to restart sales faster, should I put back the crossed out price or keep this price and maybe activate a coupon? Crossed out price. Do the slash price. Do slash through pricing. It'll be great. It shows a lot better. The coupons, okay. I honestly tell people, if you're going to do a coupon, expect that like you're not going to see the coupon like every single time that it comes up. The thing at the end of the day is that essentially coupon, people have to click it, so they're not going to use it every time, right? But a slash through price, people are always going to see that. They're always going to have that. So that's kind of how I look at them. If you're really trying to drive conversion, like put it in front of somebody. Now, that being said, you can also do like deals, right? You could do a deal offering, and that would be just as good and impactful. Viper, happy Friday. They are excited, guys. They are excited. Viper looks forward to this all week, I'm sure. Do coupons count towards lowest pricing for sales for things like event pricing? Yes, they can. So I believe I would have to relook at the exact guidelines, but I believe coupons do affect your pricing in that capacity. I can log in while we're kind of going through some extra stuff here. But if my memory serves me correctly, coupons count towards it. Brand tailored promotions don't. So promotions don't count towards it. Like your average pricing, that is, or your was price, or they do count towards average. They don't count towards was, which is what event pricing usually goes off of. Is it goes off your was price. So that's like the big differentiator, Viper, as to what you need to understand there. Which your average pricing usually comes from like slash through, sale price, etc. Crazy fun. How we can get the estimations of keyword bids. That's actually super simple. I mean, you can essentially, sorry guys, I'm trying to log into an account so we can actually look at stuff while I'm doing this, but that's actually super simple to do. The easiest way to go about doing that is just put the keyword into Amazon. Amazon will show you in the advertising console what the actual costing is going to be, or the suggested bidding is going to be for anything. You don't have to create an actual campaign, or you don't have to actually set up the campaign to understand like what suggested bid is going to be for any type of account. So if I am looking, let's just do this. I'll go here, campaign manager, open this up. It's going to want me to sign in again. You guys ever get that where campaign manager just wants you to sign in like 5 times? It's super annoying. Anyhow, so if you just create a campaign, I'll share my screen again here. Share this tab. You go here. Let's say that I'll just add one of these products in. Let's say that I want my, I want to be targeting, I don't know, like an exact match of some keyword, right? Or I can even enter the list. I can do an exact match of bathroom soap, right? I'll add that keyword in. It will give you the suggested bid for that keyword, which you guys probably can't even see. I'll zoom in here for you. You see here, we get that exactly, right? So we have our suggested bid, what the estimation is going to be for that. Now, is that going to be what you end up paying from a cost per click perspective? Not necessarily, right? It could have some sway to it, but this is a super easy way to do it. The other way you can go about this is you could just throw it into like Helium 10 Cerebro, and that gives you a PPC average as well. For estimating the PPC budget and profit loss over months. Okay, yeah, so same exact thing. Shane, what are your thoughts on the new deal fees kicking off 2nd of June? Any suggestions? I mean, it's just another situation of Amazon, and I gotta see what the exact ones. We talked about this like 2 months ago, I think, or so, when they initially announced it. I can't remember what exactly it's going up to. The biggest, here's what I'll say when it comes to any deal raises at all. There's like a pro con here, right? So I'm actually really glad, because my initial major con of the new deal fees was actually the fact that it seemed like it was going to be insanely expensive for like the higher priced products, right? For somebody who was selling like a $20 item, it was going to be like nothing, right? No changes whatsoever. But if you're selling a $500 item, it immediately was just going to be, you know, so much more expensive than normal. I think now it's a little bit more evened out to where across the board, because that was my biggest annoyance with it when I was looking at it. I wonder if I can actually pull up the news article. View all news. Let's see. Of course, Amazon in the news doesn't have just like a section for new fees or anything like that. That would be great, but they would also, you know, they would also not do that. Yeah, I can't find it right now. Yeah, I don't have it pulled up. But anyways, yeah, that was my initial impression, is that it seemed like it was going to be exceptionally pricey when it came to really high priced items. And I didn't like that. It made no sense in that comparison. It kind of seemed like Amazon was like, well, these $500 items are paying the same amount as these $20 items, but we should be able to get more money from them. Not realizing that higher priced items usually cost more as well and have lower margins at the end of the day. So I'm up in the air. I mean, it is what it is. It's just another one of those situations where Amazon said last year, we're not raising our referral fees next year at all. But then they tacked on like 20 different new fees around deals, around everything else. So it's what it is. What are your views on sponsored display? Is it more of a complementary campaign to sponsored products? When should I implement sponsored display? Amazon recommended it, but I don't trust them. So I love sponsored display first and foremost. It's great for remarketing campaigns. It's great for brand awareness. You know, sponsored display is really, really powerful and really good if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, you will waste so much money. I cannot explain that enough, where the amount of the amount of accounts that I have gone through and done an advertising audit on, and I look at it and they have like 95% sponsored products and like 0% sponsored display. And I'll ask them, I'm like, why aren't you doing a sponsored display? And they'll be like, well, I tried it in the past and, it seemed like it didn't have any conversion on it and we just wasted a lot of money with it. And I'm like, okay, so what kind of campaigns did you run? And they'll be like, well, I don't really know. And that's the big thing. If you don't know what kind of campaign you ran on sponsored display, it tells me you don't understand sponsored display, right? So sponsored display is very different from like sponsored products, because sponsored products, you're sponsoring a product to a direct keyword. Super simple, or I guess category or product, whatever. It's super simple to understand, super simple and straightforward. Sponsored display, people struggle with if they don't understand paid media, I think, especially things like Google display advertising. So it's great for like audience segmentation. It's great for remarketing campaigns. I hate people that set it up and then have VCPM campaigns and they try and act like their ACoS is super low, because that's a super scummy thing that some ad agencies will do. It's just a thing. Actually, I had that conversation just this last week with somebody who they're like, yeah, we have a great ACoS. Our ACoS is 20%. I asked them to open up their ad console. And then I said, okay, can you filter now by campaign type? And I'm like, can you do just sponsored products? And it went from 20% to 80% ACoS. I'm like, can you exit that and type in VCPM? And what do you know? Like half their campaigns are VCPM campaigns. And in reality, because like their tacos ACoS didn't line up. They were at like a 50% tacos, but their ACoS is 20%. I'm like, this literally can't be possible. So anyways, I like them. I love sponsored display. That being said, you need to learn about it. Don't just go into it thinking it's going to work the same as sponsored product. Have you had any time using the new B2B direct campaigns? How has performance been for you? Any advice for initial setup, long-term strategy? Yeah, I have actually. So I've worked with a couple of different B2B sellers so far with them. I like it. I like it quite a bit. It's actually surprising to me, but it does make sense that Amazon is getting more into this realm, especially with the aspect of it's a segment that Amazon tried in the past. They failed at. They rolled stuff back, and now they're putting stuff back out there. It works a lot better now than it did in the past. It makes a lot more sense. Amazon has always, I think, really struggled how best to work with B2B brands and businesses. They're getting better at it, but I think part of that comes from Amazon being like the most customer-centric company there is. They don't look at, business as brands, right? Or business as customers. They look at business as business. And so I like them. They're really working well for the clients that we do have. That being said, if you have a product that is B2B adjacent, I think is the best way to put it, something that could in theory be bought frequently by businesses, but it's also something bought frequently by regular end consumers. It's a bit harder to work it, and realistically, you're probably just better off setting up, business-based pricing for like case packs and things. So that would be my first layer of advice there. So if you're selling, I don't know, dry erase markers, right? Well, I guess this is the eraser of the dry erase, but you get what I'm saying. It can be purchased by everyone, including someone like myself, right? So more difficult in that capacity. Oh, actually, one piece of advice, go to your B2B Central. Let me pull this up and I'll share this so that we can go to your B2B Central and look at B2B versus non-B2B sales. If you don't have a really good like mix or healthy mix of this, I wouldn't even go after a chain. It's not worth it at the end of the day. Let's see. Oh, dude, I have allergies out the wazoo right now. I was out this morning. It's killing me. I'm ranking organically in the top 10 of some keywords that have very low search volume of 400 to 700, I assume. Or, 400, 700, maybe. I don't know. That have low keyword sales in Helium. And in search query, it shows I have only 1 to 3 ASIN counts for these. And many of my keywords in general in search query have search volume of 750. and below, with only a handful being in the mid to high search volume. Should I create an exact and or phrase campaign for all variations with top of search on these keywords, or do broad? Or should I do it only on the one variation that produced the ASIN count? I would probably focus on your top selling ASIN. So it sounds like the one there. You can add the other ones in, but it sounds like the top selling is the one that is most click-through heavy. So check your click-through rate on it first and foremost. And then from there, if you're not really ranking or indexing on really high search volume keywords, I would look for some ones within your competition. So go to whoever is essentially your top competitors within the market, throw them into Cerebro, see what really high search volume keywords they are indexing within the top 100 on. That will give you a good bearing as to what you need to work towards. AHA affect sales. I don't know what AHA stands for. Someone else tell me that. This is another, this is NTB all over again. For those that don't know, last year I had a quandary of someone said NTB. And I was like, what does that mean? I couldn't figure it out. I Googled it, couldn't figure it out. It's all about the 3-letter acronyms in this world, but new to brand, right? So I'll learn this one, I guess, if someone can tell me, but I'm not going to try and find it. What is a good organic to PPC orders ratio? I'm seeing 70% PPC and 30% organic, or that's not a good metric / KPI to even watch out for. It's a good metric / KPI to watch out for. The only thing I would advise you on there is I would look at your tacos with that. So at the end of the day, if, for instance, you're seeing your tacos stay stagnant at 10%, but you have 70% PPC sale, 30% organic, that's a bit of a problem, or not a problem, right? Like that's fine, because you're not spending anything more to get those PPC sales. To be honest, you're probably, if anything, just cannibalizing yourself in some capacity. Now, that being said, what I will kind of forewarn against or say, I typically like to see more, like for a seasoned brand, I love seeing something like a 70-30, but opposite of what you have, maybe even an 80-20. Really depends at the end of the day what you're going after. If you're really just trying to go for sales volume right now, then yeah, that's totally fine. But you need to make sure you're still optimizing for organic, right? You need to make sure you're optimizing your SEO, continuing to increase your overall keyword count. That will help you significantly more at the end of the day. So all of that as you will. Do the keywords that are ranked less than 30 in my search query score means I should consider them in my campaign? Some are reflecting in Helium as well, even though I haven't had any sales from these keywords. Do I create a broad and phrase campaign for them? Yeah. It essentially means that they're probably low search volume keywords that you're not targeting all that much. They're probably not in, but they are relevant adjacent, let's say, to your overall search volume or your overall sales. My private label brand got 4.7 star reviews within a month via Vine. Okay. Ready for PPC. Which to target? 1, automatic targeting. 2, manual targeting keywords. Or 3, Amazon's recommended campaigns. Do not do Amazon's recommended campaigns unless you just feel like having them spend all of your money and have nothing for it. I would do a mix of 1 and 2 always. You should be looking at specific high relevancy keywords to add in for your manual targeting, and then always set up an auto campaign. It helps you get new keywords, new search terms. It helps you get sales, do low bid structure on it, understand where you can get sales, still having a low cost per click. It's great. Great job on the 4.7. When reboosting sales, since it has dropped a lot and I have lost a ton of keywords organically, so aside from lowering price or promos / deal, should I focus on doing broad or phrase on getting those keywords back? I would probably, if you're trying to get specific keywords back, I would focus on exact, right? Because you want to get those keywords back. That being said, really, I would focus on price if you're trying to like quick reboost. Otherwise, it's just going to take a while. Let's see. If you use a prohibited term like non-toxic or natural, but have a certificate proving it, how and on which stage do you provide it to Amazon? Can I provide it somehow in advance or wait to get flagged? Manage your compliance. You can also set up to have organic specific, but it has to be through manage your compliance dashboard. You can also add these certificates into the backend on Amazon. There's actually a, if you go to, let's see, where is it? Oh, did they move it? They might have moved it. There used to be a little thing under catalog, I think, where you could upload documents. Maybe it's here, but I'm just missing it. I think I'm just missing it. Either way, there's a place where you can upload documents specific for your product. But the biggest thing that I would focus on is just making sure that essentially you're doing manager compliance correctly. You're going to get flagged at some point in time if you have the claims in there, but it's just a matter of making sure you actually have correct documentation. Having a certificate saying something is organic is not the same as actually having it tested and verified organic. So also check to see who is on the manager compliance for organic specifically, because that will help you a ton to get ahead of the ball or ahead of the game. All right. Either way, you know what I'm saying. Let's see. Is it okay to partially create a variation listing with a flat file and then add attributes, which you couldn't add to the flat file for whatever reason through Seller Central? Won't there be any errors? Partially create a variation listing with a flat file and then add attributes, which you couldn't. Oh yeah, there is. Yeah. Okay. So this is a thing that you used to be able to do, Sergey. So specific categories didn't used to have specific variation themes and types that essentially you could do, right? So if you ever download like a product template now for a specific category, you'll see that there are, didacted or redacted, do not use themes to the variation. Those are essentially historical themes you could use in the past for that category, but can no longer use for new listings. I just ran into this problem this week with one of my coaching clients where he did exactly that. He was uploading a bunch of different products with old attribute themes, but nothing could pair together, and they were showing incorrectly. And the reason for that is that you can upload it, but it's not going to show properly. And realistically, you're going to run into errors. You should just parent with the correct parentages at this point in time based on category. If I own the trademark and the manufacturing, do I really need to put the FNSKU barcode on the box when sending to FBA? No, you can set the product up to be sent with manufacturer barcode. But if you did not set your listing and your SKU up for manufacturer barcode, you have to create a new SKU that is manufacturer barcode and then close out the FNSKU one. Noah, do you also do one-on-one coaching? I'm so glad you asked, Ricardo, because the answer is yes. Yes, indeed, I do. But not just myself, mind you. We have all sorts of coaches. If you head on over to myamazonguy.com/coaching, you will actually see, or book a coaching call, whatever. I think you can do either one. You'll actually see this. You'll see my wonderful face here with this poorly put mic that is not my mic, but maybe I should get a new mic, as well as a few other of our coaches here. So you can actually do a couple things. You can book a one-on-one coaching call with myself or one of our other coaches here. They're all insanely knowledgeable. Each one of these gentlemen is an expert in their own right when it comes to Amazon e-commerce business in general. Or if you just want to ask me a one-on-one question and get some really in-depth stuff where I even look into stuff, feel free to do that as well. Little plug, self-plug there. Self-plug. Sorry, hate me. Let me get more coffee here. I ran out of Celsius, so I'm back on the coffee grind. which is probably healthier for me, to be honest. Who knows what's in those energy drinks? It's probably awful for my body. Oh, Amazon SPP asked me to add prices to my offered services. Does this mean that Amazon wants all the service transactions to go through them to charge the fee? Any thoughts on that or any news about SPP? I haven't heard that one. They haven't asked us for pricing. I think that will depend on the service that you signed up for. People do not have to go through you, I believe. They can go to you direct. You're still just going to be in that little console area. I wouldn't worry too heavily about it. I don't think Amazon wants to turn into that much of a middleman, at least not yet. And it would only be for people that find you directly through like the partner network. It would not be for every client that you utilize. Work with. If my product isn't converting on relevant keywords, but only converting on auto and ASIN targeting, what should I do? Reason: my product is high price and quality with accessories. WRT market. I don't know what WRT is. You guys got to stop with these 3-letter acronyms. I have no idea. Anyhow, that being said, if you're not converted, so I'm sure people can throw it in the chat right now, and they've heard me say it a million times. The number one thing on Amazon, number one converting factor on Amazon is price. Number 2 converting factor, your product details. Number 3, reviews. Simple as that. If you don't have correct, unique differentiation, like what makes your product a higher price, right? So like what makes it a higher price? You say quality with accessories. Cool. Are you showing that in your listing stack images? Are you making it known in your title that your product comes with these accessories that other products do not? How high is your price comparatively to your next closest competitor? Are they really a competitor? Are you targeting keywords that are your product plus accessories, or are you just doing your product? These are all things that you need to be considering when you when you're having conversion issues at the end of the day. Also, if you're only doing auto and ASIN targeting, that's part of the problem. My product becomes unsellable once opened and used. Is there any way I can make it non-returnable? No. So for day parting, I need to make multiple campaigns of the same thing. One for morning. Okay. I was like MRNG. I'm like, what? One for morning to afternoon at budget. I want to at budget, and second one for $1 budget and keep it on pause. No, you don't need to create a second at $1 budget. You want your campaign to be at $1 budget, or whatever budget you want it to be at. That's like a very minimal budget during the middle of the day. And then you want to add day parting morning, night. Should we expect shipping to go up massively with an influx of products stuck in China due to tariffs that can now be imported with lower tariffs? Yeah, the ports are about to fill I was about to say something I probably shouldn't for YouTube purposes, up. The ports are about to fill up quite a bit. I imagine everyone is putting in inventory shipments right now. Everyone is getting their products sent. The thing is, prices were going up on freight, like due to the fact that no one was shipping anything. So no one was shipping anything. So freight prices went up about 20-25% compared to average. But then everyone starts shipping stuff, or at least they are now. And so it's like it's supply and demand at the end of the day. So I think they will likely stagnate out here. I don't think it's going to be that much of a change comparatively, but I guess we'll see. It really depends on where you go through, how fast you want it to. Dude, my nose. Allergies, they suck. There is a method to avoid Amazon requesting invoice. No. You can choose not to provide it to them. Is the broad match modifier better than broad and phrase match types for merch on-demand products? And what is the best launch campaign strategy for these products? When you say broad match modifier than broad and phrase, I mean, it sounds like you're essentially asking if you should do one or both. What I would say is I would do both at the end of the day. I don't think it matters too much as far as category. That's one thing. Category here just does not matter, right? You're saying merch on demand. Who cares, right? About what your category is. It depends on your targets. What works best for your certain keyword targets? What is best launch campaign strategy for these products? Not sure. I haven't done a ton of merch on demand. It really, again, is going to be dependent on what is your on-demand product, right? Like, what is it at the end of the day? Because you can have one for any category, right? And every category is going to be different. It's not different or all that different from a regular product at the end of the day. How to resolve your deposit method is missing, invalid, or not assigned. You add a deposit method. Go up to the top right, click account info. There's going to be a big box that pops up that says, please add a deposit method. Click that blue button. You're on your way. What is your perspective on campaigns scheduling rules? Campaign scheduling rules, okay. Have you found certain times of day to be more optimal for Amazon shopper traffic? Yeah, I mean, you're always going to have the most optimal times be essentially early morning and pretty much like night, like early night. I guess evening is the best way to put it. And the middle of the night is going to be abysmal. You're not going to get conversions at 2 a.m. You just aren't. You're going to get clicks because there are people who are like myself and can't sleep at 2 a.m. So they scroll through Amazon for some reason. But you're not going to get anything else out of that. What's VCPM campaign? It is viewable clicks per minute, I think. Oh, I dropped my stress ball. Yeah, it's viewable clicks per minute, I think is the actual term technically. But essentially VCPM is a form of video campaign display campaign doesn't technically have to be video, I suppose. But it's type of display campaign where essentially instead of actually like direct clicks monitoring for everything, it goes off of like 1,000 views. I don't like it. How do I use competitors' keywords to know if I need to use in my campaign or listing? How do I determine if those keywords will be to my advantage, even if I'm not ranking or indexing for them? Is it a direct competitor? Do they have basically the same product as you? Are they ranking really high for that for that keyword and getting sales on that keyword? If you answered yes to both, it's a relevant keyword. Just want to ask, what strategy would you do if the product you are selling on Amazon has no competitors? Where would you harvest keywords for SEO? Literally not possible. There is literally not a single product in the world right now that, I won't say anything. It is next to impossible that you don't have any competitors. Honestly, you can say I have talked to thousands and thousands and thousands of brand owners and sellers. And there is not a single time, I think, that someone has said, my product is completely unique. I don't have competitors, where I wasn't able to immediately just type in their top keyword and find at least like 5 similar type products that are competitors, like direct competitors, right? There is not a thing at this point in time as like I have no competitors. Even if your product has unique differentiators, there is still a category it falls into. There is still something. So always look, what is the top of what category are you going to be in? Because I can tell you, you can't launch a product and have Amazon create a custom category for you that you are the only product in, right? So that means you have competitors somewhere within your category. Will throw PPC off if I move a producing keyword from one campaign to put it in another? Yes, it will, because campaigns have history. We are running out of questions, guys. If you have questions, throw them in the chat now. I know we're pretty low on people at this point, but it doesn't even have to be Amazon related. It doesn't have to be anything related. Current world affairs. We'll turn this into the politics AMA. What is Noah's opinion on current world affairs moment? I have something going on with my hair here. I hate this, but whatever. Let's see here. Actually, Royce, to bounce off that a little bit more. Will it throw PPC off if I move producing keyword from one campaign to another? Yes. Campaigns have history. I always will tell you essentially only move keywords that aren't producing to other campaigns. Don't move the keyword that is producing in a campaign to another one, because you will immediately essentially throw off that campaign entirely. You'll throw off the new campaign as well. Always focus on your keywords essentially that aren't producing for moving them around. Final question, apparently. Viper, how do we guarantee a slash through price? Seems like it can be at Amazon's discretion. Oh goodness, what is the percentage? I think it has to be at least 10% for slash through to actually guarantee it. And it has to be from a sale price perspective. Let me double check that though. I think it's at least 10% for sale price for it to bounce through. Let's see. We'll do this. Oh, it's a bundle. I don't want to look at a bundle. Give me one sec. Oh, maybe I'll turn this Friday live Q&A into Noah just starts doing stuff. The podcast. Let's see here. Yeah, 10%. I believe it's 10%, Viper. Don't totally quote me on that, but should in theory be about 10% to get a slash through price. Let's see. Well, if there is nothing, let's see. Gil, can you send me? Oh, there's one more. Gil, can you send me the link that you're looking for there? I actually don't know what you're talking about there, so it would be helpful if I could have that. Oh, here it is. We have a successful seller masterclass coming up here shortly. It has one of our clients. For anyone that is interested, I would go sign up for that. Link in the description. It's also in the chat there, as you can see. I have it on the screen. One of my very, very good friends, David Spanos, he is going to be on it. And he's going to be talking with very young Kevin, going over a ton of things you need to know when you are doing or trying to be successful on Amazon. So if you have not already, go sign up for that. It'll be a great session with him. They'll go into a ton of stuff. David's awesome. Super charismatic guy as well. Let's see. What is the pricing policy regarding price offs? So how long do you have to keep a price in order to price off? What is a price off? Does it differ with coupons? I don't know what a price off is. I think are you asking like how long does it stay before it turns permanent? All of your average sales. So you have two different average sales. You have 30-day and then 180-day. So 30-day pricing is your average 30-day pricing that can fluctuate all the time. Then you have 180-day. If you stay at a certain price for too long, that will become your average price, and you cannot raise your price up higher than that, no matter how hard you try. It is a pain in the butt to my nose right now. It's not even stuffed. It's just, well, anyways, it's bad. So try not to do, pricing discounts more than about 30 days though. Jenny, does Amazon mandate me to send products to several locations for FBA? Can I only send to one location? Yeah. So this is essentially what we would consider to be placement. Amazon wants you to send to multiple locations, but you can pay a additional fee, Jenny, to have singular location placement. Also, if you're only sending like a small amount of product, they'll just say one place or one warehouse. Barack, in my auto campaign, I have 7 different products. Their ACoS rates are close to each other, around 25%. Should I continue like this, or is it necessary to switch to manual? Definitely not necessary to switch to manual. You might just have more success with specific keywords when it comes to manual, both on the sense of a lower ACoS or even potentially just more conversions when you get into the realm of specific targeting. So it's really a dealer's choice at that regard, but it's not necessarily best practice to keep auto campaigns all the time. You really should switch to manual targeting for things at some point in time. What are the reasons you use to raise or lower the bid? Am I getting impressions I want? Am I getting conversions that I want? It comes down to at what point am I paying more for clicks and no conversions versus clicks and conversions versus impressions, right? So I want to try and keep a very good click-through rate. Let's say a 8 to 10% click-through rate. I would consider that pretty good. Now I want to try and keep a good conversion rate, right? 15% or so. Is there a day parting video? I'm still not understanding what you mean with this $1 or whatever low budget campaign for middle of the day. If I can only have one schedule in rule for one time frame, how do you set up the afternoon time frame and the evening time frame? I'm seeing 3 different segments in the day. How do I set that up with one campaign? You don't. You set up with 2 campaigns. Okay, let me do this. Where's my leave page? Okay, let's do a little bit of some ad walkthrough here on day parting for you, Royce, because why not? Let's choose this one. So if I wanted to share this, if I wanted to set day parting up for this, I currently have a default bid, right? I have my spend, I have my sales, etc. We can set up some budget rules here. We can add a budget rule. Let's say that this budget, so campaign daily budget is $10. Let's say that this is the top line of the budget that you want to spend, Royce, during that afternoon period. So you set your daily budget to $10, quote unquote. But then you would set up a schedule range and you would choose start time, end time, 6 a.m., 12 p.m. increase. You want during your best time of the day be 100% or $20 instead of 10. Or even if you want to, you could do 1,000% and you want it to be $110, right? So you can do that. Now, you set this up for the custom date range. You do it daily, and then you would set that budget rule. Go out of this, you would have a budget rule, and then you would set another budget rule coming in here again, and that one would run from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. The purpose behind this is you now have 2 budget rules. So during the time frame of 12 to 5, you will have a budget of $10, but from 5 to 12 and then from 5 to 10, you have a budget of $100. This doesn't make sense. I'm happy to try and dig in deeper on a full video, but I don't know how else to make it make sense. Do you do it in only in relation to your target ACoS? What are you asking here? Yes. I mean, not necessarily, Ricardo. I mean, you can change your bid in regards to your target ACoS. So like if you're too high ACoS, yes, lower your bid. That will definitely help you. That's not the only thing you should be doing. Obviously, bidding adjustments are just one part of an optimized campaign. But yes, lowering or raising your bid in regard to what your ACoS is definitely something you should be doing. I noticed that when you are about to run out of stock, it is as if Amazon puts you in bad positions, and in that week, the ACoS rises, you get very few organic sales. I don't know if that's really true. It seems that's the type of stuff you hear, and it seems more like urban legend than truth behind it, I guess is the best way to put it. It's not like they actively do that, at least that I know of. I think it's more so that it shows about to run out of stock or certain units left, and so therefore it's less likely to get purchases. Well, we got Craig back in the house. Oh, oops. Updated bullets and alt text. Nothing else, and conversation. I think you mean conversion rates went from 11% to 3.5% week over week. How would that update impact the conversion rate that much? Okay, so the only way that this can impact conversion rate is if you, by chance, and this is a rare thing, if you by chance took out a specific keyword that you started actually ranking on, and now you're for some reason not ranking against it. I would look at your search query performance, Craig, check to see if there is any new keywords that your search query is picking up from a week over week standpoint that wasn't picking up before, or lack thereof keywords. That's kind of the first place that I would check, is do the week over week option for that, so you can actually see what changed from your conversion rate, right? Because it's unlikely the bullets in the alt text are what actually changed, to be entirely frank with you. It's more than likely what actually changed is that there is specific keywords that you were ranking or indexed on that you just aren't anymore potentially, or even a campaign structure got changed. Maybe somebody threw biddings too high, and now you're showing up from like a top of search placement too often. So start from your search query and just literally take a download of week 1 and then week 2. Look at them side by side. Look at what actually changed from a conversion rate and see which specific keywords decreased in conversion. Andy, to avoid the embargo of American products at the moment in Canada, can I put English-owned company in the bullets on our listing in Canada? What? I don't think there's an embargo. I don't think. Hold on. I mean, I understand what you're saying. Canadians don't want to buy American products at the moment. I think that's what you're saying, because there's not an actual embargo against American products. It's just that people don't want to purchase them. Can you put English-owned company in the bullets? I mean, you could. I don't think anyone actually cares. I think the actual segmentation of like, if you actually look like the number of people that are buying on Amazon who care where the product is from versus like those that don't, it's so low. I don't think it's actually that big of a deal. Clara, can you open Amazon's seller account without US LLC for non-US citizen? Technically, yes. It's not, I mean, you have to have some form of LLC, and you have to have some form of business. If Amazon allowed drop shipping, how are we supposed to provide an invoice when they ask for them if we've not sold the item? Well, they don't allow drop shipping, so problem solved. Actually, they historically hate drop shipping. In fact, they changed the ruling on that a couple of years ago, so you can technically drop ship on Amazon. Technically. The way you actually have to go about it at this point in time, because they changed it, I want to say 2-3 years ago, to where they like cracked down on drop shipping really hard. Now, how you have to do it essentially has to be blank box, blank everything. But how do you provide them an invoice when they ask for them? You have to provide an invoice. Yeah, ask your manufacturer. You should be getting, or your distributor. You should be getting monthly invoices from your distributor in some capacity. If you are paying for every single order as it comes through and not paying on like a net 30 or something, what are you doing? It sounds kind of like a get rich quick type thing, which we've all been there, myself included. They suck. Shane, I have a couple of really good product targeting campaigns. However, through bidding adjustments, the best click-through rate, unit sales, and ACOS is ROS and not product page. Oh, rest of search. See, this is the moment I got it. Context clues and not product pages. Would you make changes here? No. So like I was talking about earlier, Shane, it can be possible that rest of search is fantastic. And if you're getting good conversion against a certain type of placement, don't worry about it, right? Like the end goal at the end of the day is conversion. Rest of search is a fine place to get conversion from. It still helps you with your PPC. It helps you with ranking at the end of the day. So don't worry too much when it comes to, where you are placing, right? The biggest thing is making sure you have somewhere you're actually converting on. So product pages, I don't really care, right? As long as you are getting a rest of search placement, that's fine. The product targeting campaigns, that aspect of it, I think, is small in comparison, because when you do product targeting, you more so are just showing up for where that product is showing up, right? So rest of search is fine. I am going to need to use some nose spray or something here soon. I took a Zyrtec this morning. Did nothing. Allergies, they don't care. It even rained here last night. Actually stormed really hard. Really, really bad. There was like tornadoes going off. It was crazy. So to understand how to set up campaigns for search query, you said to create broad on keywords with one async count, but you also said do exact top search for those keywords. Which one is both or one? No. So you're do exact for your long tails. So more than 4 search terms. So not specific one keyword, more than a phrase is probably the best way to put it, but there's such thing as phrase match, right? You want to do long tail for that when you're looking at keywords like that so that you can have the highest conversion possible. But if you are ranked exceptionally well, you don't have to worry too much about an exact match with that because of the fact that you are ranked so well organically. Only exact and top on the high search volume is not going to burn my PPC. Top search on high volume. It depends on what your goal is and how relevant your product is. If you are getting the clicks and conversions, it doesn't matter at the end of the day, right? It can be, again, my favorite example of this is the highest I have ever seen. The cost of a single click for a keyword was, I think, $56, if I'm not mistaken. 56 or 46, one of the two. But essentially, it was over $40 per click. That's per click. But the people who run it, they still run it, and they do it because they get the sales, and it helps them organically rank. I wouldn't worry about it. Embargo, wrong word, bias. Andy, are you Canadian? Is this is this the problem? My option is, I think, is a deal can do it. My opinion. Got it. Okay. Is the exact match help ranking on keyword or the broad match? Both. I agree with Ricardo. It has happened every time I start running low. Same with any bad review popping up. Well, yeah, bad reviews is just it's gonna hurt conversion at the end of the day. This more so comes down to like how the A10 algorithm works, which realistically, I don't even think Amazon actually knows. Anybody who has like an algorithm for search like this, I don't think they truly actually know. Even Amazon's like mad right now, and they're changing the titles because they're, mad Rufus sucks at searching. So, I mean, it's possible, right? It's not like a spoken out loud thing that Amazon does. I do see it myself often. There's not much you can do against it, unfortunately. Different keywords for exact match at the same campaign. Yeah, up to 5 to 10 is usually what I like to go after. Is there an easy way to change alt text on photos that have already been posted? Yeah, you just go into the I'm guessing you're talking about the A+ content. In which case, yeah, just go into your, what is that called? If you go to advertising, go to A+ content manager, click the A+ content that you currently have live on the listing, change the alt text, click save. And that is all the questions that we have here, guys. If there's more questions, let me know. I got a little extra time today. I can stay around. Otherwise, I think we will we'll start wrapping up here, which is also not a problem because my nose is completely stuffed at this point from talking and whatnot, which is abysmal. Kristen says perfect. Perfect. It's exactly what I say as well. All that being said, let me pull this up. We got another question. Which elements have the most effect on conversion and sales? Price, number one converting factor. 2, your pictures, your images, and the unique identifier of your product. Number 2. So pictures are for people, text is for robots. Number 3, reviews. Simple as that. If you have a good review rate, you are very competitively priced, and your graphics sell the product, fantastic. All right. I am going to call it there, guys, because we got nothing else. And so with all of that being said, for those that are here at the end here, we are My Amazon Guy. We are a full service agency. Feel free to check us out at any point in time. We do everything end to end, not just on Amazon at this point. We also do direct to consumer. If you are looking for Google advertising services, Shopify management, Meta advertising services, or really any paid media you can think about, feel free to, check us out, come over, book a call with us. We're more than happy to take it on. We also have some cool stuff coming up here soon, such as, like I was saying earlier, we have a seller success mastery course that's going to be going on here soon. That's going to be having one of our clients on, David Spanos, talking about his product. We're going to be giving away like $10,000 worth of different things at the end of the day. So go to that if you just like free stuff even. So all that being said, if you want to check us out again, feel free to go to our website, and I'll be here next week. At least I think. I may be here next week. It might be somebody else, but somebody will be here next week, same time, 12 p.m. Eastern, to answer any and all of your Amazon-related questions. Everybody have a great weekend. I'll see you next week. See you, everybody.